Musically meditated.
Musically meditated. Musically meditated.
Welcome to Musically Meditated, episode 22. We have a guest with us tonight, and his name is Anthony Ramirez. What's up, Tony?
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Always well.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I was referred to you by Allison and Chuck from Fluid, and how many times have you played there, Fluid in Valpo?
I think 4 open mics I've played.
Cool.
Yeah, a couple times with my band and a couple times solo.
And you just did your own solo thing this past Saturday, correct? Where was that at?
Hunt and Gather Market in Crown Point.
Awesome.
How's that?
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yeah, we got busy here. I really wanted to go to that.
Yeah. It's worth going to for sure. Every vendor they're all amazing people. They love everything, their craft. It's wonderful.
Really cool, really cool. The best way I could describe your music, your solo stuff, is singer-songwriter. Would you say that's a fair title? Mm-hmm. And then your band Mercury, what would you call that as far as genre-wise? Because I couldn't really make it out either.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just say rock.
Yeah, we're rock. We're
fair enough.
Kind of spacey.
Space rock?
Yeah, space rock.
That's a new genre we just came up with here.
Space rock.
Space rock.
Yeah.
What's up?
We float.
Yeah.
The whole idea of Mercury is the Greek concept of like message from the gods. So instead of us creating, the concept is like we just listen and then we try to conduct.
That's pretty deep, dude.
So maybe the genre is conduction.
Oh, shit. There we go. We're starting new genres here tonight. Space jams, I like
Space-time conduction instead of continuum.
Our band is Space Jam themed.
Yeah.
We dress up like Looney Tunes characters and try to beat Michael Jordan on 5-on-5 alien tournament.
That's not going to happen.
But now with your music history, could we dive into that a little bit? Like, what inspired you? How long have you been doing it?
Oh, okay. I've been doing it consistently for about 5 years. The inspiration, it hits deep. My father was a musician. My mom is a musician. And I'm the youngest of 6. All of my older siblings are musicians. My brother Ray did a lot of music with my father. When my dad passed away, I felt like it's my turn to do something with music. That's when I started, and he passed away 5 years ago. I've been doing music 5 years.
Cool. That's a cool story. Yeah, when you lose loved ones, like, music's a good thing to be there. Well, it's always been a good thing for me.
Yeah.
It could help you reflect back or help you grieve, and so that's cool, man. And what were some of his influences? Like, did he sound like anybody in particularly?
He hated it. He sounded like Elvis. Like, exactly. And
who hates Elvis?
I know. Well, I want my own voice.
Right.
But he did do Elvis impersonations. He was on satellite TV.
Cool.
He had in his closet, he had an Elvis suit that my mom sewed that I would see growing up. Like, oh, you were Elvis before. Yeah, I used to do that. Johnny Cash, he did a lot of covers. I actually never heard an original until 2 years ago.
Of JC? Johnny Cash?
No, of my dad's.
Oh, okay.
I only ever heard covers. And then a couple years ago, an old bandmate of his had old recordings with his actual writing of his own originals and stuff. So that was really cool.
That's super special.
So, yeah.
Did you get to keep any of them, or transform?
Yeah, we got them all on CDs and stuff now for all of us. So
cool,
it's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried playing any of his original stuff?
That's actually funny. That came up today because my sister scanned all the papers, and they told me that my originals sound like his playing. And I was like, I'm like, that's crazy. I've never played with him, So I actually had that thought, I could probably do because he had 5 songs. I could probably do those and be for my dad, these 5 songs,
It'd be badass.
That would be badass.
Yeah. What's Natalie? Was it Natalie Cole? Or remember years ago? It was I'm messing it up. It was her father was a famous. I'm being real ignorant. Her father was a famous singer, and then he passed away, and she was like maybe in her 40s or 50s, and she sang the same thing. So it was one of his old songs. She sang the same thing, but they sang it like a duet. So that would be cool too, man.
I had
That
that
would be
thought,
cool.
like his actual recording,
That'd be
and
awesome.
then me like doing it with it. Yeah, it's a whole other like ball game though to get.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm good enough to sing with him yet. So
Cool, man. That's
Yeah.
that's a really cool story. As far as social media goes, where can we find you, and what are your names? You
Okay.
know, like are you on Facebook?
I do. I recently changed. I used to like go on my own. I was like Wayward Son, but it was spelled WORD and SUN because I try to be clever. But, I just ended up changing it. It's Antoine Zaramar.
Which is Ramirez backwards?
Zaramar is Ramirez backward. I like to write like fantasy, and I very often use that as like the name of my universe, like Zaramar, because of my ego.
Sounds like a badass universe.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Welcome to Zaramar.
Hell yeah.
So I have a Facebook page, Antoine Zaramar, and my Instagram is Antoine Zaramar. My SoundCloud is Tony Ramirez.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Cool.
which I'll try to change, but my phone doesn't let me.
And how about Mercury? Your band Mercury.
My band Mercury, there's 5 of us, and it's just called Mercury Band on Facebook. So,
Sweet.
and I do have a YouTube video of Mercury. My YouTube channel is Antoine Zaramar, I think, as well.
Awesome.
A mindless fool. To trembling waves searching for my soul. Where else can I go? For in this life of fear, I've lived only despair. Who am I? Tell me who to be. I'm sitting here, drunk and ashamed, afraid to let my beast be tamed. Stumbled about through a world so cruel, in the foggy haze of a mindless fool. Now I'm alone in the emptiness of grief. Now I'm alone, no hint of relief, and I can only dream within this broken mind. To dream, forsaken dream of forgotten days behind. Who am I to tell me who to be? Who am I to tell me who to be? Who am I to tell me who to be? Sitting here, drunk and ashamed, afraid to let my beast be tamed. Stumbled about through a world so cruel, in the foggy haze of a dying fool.
Tony, yeah.
That one made me sweat.
That was awesome.
That was fucking badass.
Sorry, we jumped the gun on that.
No, you're fine. That happens anytime I do it. Yeah. It's like you guys are applauding, but I'm dying. That's a rock one.
Now, you've only been playing for 5 years. What was the first instrument that you started to play?
So a year before my dad was diagnosed with cancer, I got a djembe, and he tried to start a band with us kids.
What's a
And
djembe?
Oh, it's a goblet shaped. It's an African drum, percussion. It usually has like goat skin around it. It's bigger, like you straddle it. So I started that like in his band, and then when he had cancer, we had to stop it. So my first was percussion, and then I got bongos, and then eventually moved on to like kind of a half-formed drum kit, like bass drum with one tom and djembe, and now I just play any percussion I get my hands on.
You ever play bass before?
I have.
Okay.
I was in a band called Of Eld, not Of Elf, Of Eld, like Days of Eld. And we did like folk rock, a lot of Mumford & Son, Magnetic Zeros, Edward Sharpe covers of Mice and Men. That was fun. And I did percussion in that. And then there was one particular song where my brother was like, we need bass. So I played bass. And I'm like, I like this. So I wanted to become bass player. So then we got a drummer. And then I eventually switched to banjo. And now I do like guitar most of the time.
And the banjo, that's just 4 strings too, isn't it?
5.
It's 5?
Yeah.
Okay. There's this band I saw last year. They're called Show Me the Body. And they're this weird combination of like grime, punk, and hip hop. And the lead singer plays a banjo, but it's distorted. It's like an electric banjo. You know, like he'll put an overdrive pedal on it
Yeah.
and stuff. And we hung out with him for a little bit. I'm like, why a banjo? He's like, 4, or he's like 5 strings. It's just easier to play, dude. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But It's a pretty interesting sound.
It gets crazy.
Yeah, it's just it really sticks out because they're just a 3-piece too. It's just a drummer, a bass player, and then him. Like the bass player plays keys too a little bit and like some drum machine stuff. But that was the first time I ever saw like a banjo.
Does he play like a banjo?
Yeah,
like fast.
Fast.
Does he pick or does he do the claw hammer?
Claw hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would really be like do 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 do.
Yeah, it's just different. They're a really interesting band to say the least. They're I don't know. You gotta check them out. Show me the body.
You can do that with ukulele too.
Can you?
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Okay, that's 4
like
strings.
heavy metal with the ukulele.
That's badass. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Gotta hear again. Me referencing music where I don't know the names of but there's a dude from Hawaii and I think he's of Japanese descent. He's like the world's most famous.
Is it like the
ukulele player?
What is his name?
I don't know. I've watched so many videos of him, but
he sings Over the Rainbow.
No, not him.
Not him.
Not that guy.
My grandma loves that.
It's a really
song.
skinny dude.
Oh, okay.
Tall, skinny. I think Japanese descent, but from Hawaii, and he plays ukulele. He plays Metallica covers. He plays his own stuff. Yeah, he makes it sound like it's two legit guitars when he plays. It's pretty awesome. All those limitations of the 4 strings, you don't notice them when he plays.
He's on Netflix. I think I know who you're talking about. He does,
there's some kind of documentary on Netflix with him.
He does Bohemian Rhapsody on ukulele on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's pretty cool.
Man, I'm not cool enough. I don't know who this dude is.
Hey, man. Your gateway band should be Dave Matthews.
I guess.
Opens you up to everything.
I guess. You and your DMB. But fast forward to now, though, with the guitar, what's your guitar style like, playing-wise?
Well, because I started with banjo. It's one of those things where, like, you think anybody can do it. Like, doesn't everybody pick on guitar? But most guitar players are like, how do you pick? And I think it's because I started on banjo. So most of my guitar playing is picking.
Finger
just
picking?
Like constantly, yeah, finger picking.
Awesome.
And I've been told that it's like trance-like. Like, that's something I was actually told. Like, your instrument playing, like, it's just constant. And I was told by a guy that it's like a snake, like a trance.
That's cool.
So, I don't know.
I'm ready to get trance.
Yeah.
So are the listeners. That's what happens when you drink a watermelon Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, candy.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
I'm drawing a blank now, but
Margarita.
Thank you. Yeah, they have those next door. They're pretty good.
All right. This is a tough one. Why not? Okay, this one is called Cold Dead Places. It kind of came from the idea of Color of Gold was like searching, and this one is like, you can search all you want, but the dead don't care because they're dead concept. I feel like it kind of has like Greek mythology vibe, like maybe like Hades is what I visualize. So I normally do this on electric. It gives it like a really like wow wow, but I'll try it.
I have a wow
effect. Cold Dead Places. Again. My bad. In a shroud of insignificance, waiting at the door. But where is the watchman who sees all the soulless searching for their time immemorial, carried by the miserable weight drown in the deep of cold dead places. We are lying in a shroud of insignificance, waiting at the door. And now see the watchman who sees all the soulless begging at the door in cold dead places. Hearing songs of dead ones to silence our vanity, to feel nothing more. But now see the watchman who sees all the soulless begging at the door to cold dead places. In cold dead places.
But as far as any types of other percussion instruments that you rock out on that you haven't mentioned, like anything in depth, like you would like to, I don't know, drop knowledge on and inform us?
Yeah.
For the listener.
I actually have in my backpack with me, even I work at a school, and I even like my kids at school are like, "You have your instrument?" And I'm like, "I always have it." It's called a tongue drum. Tank drum is like a nickname because you can make them out of propane tanks, and then you just slit tongues, and each tongue is a note. So it's
Cool.
keyed. So like this one is E minor key. I actually had it like handcrafted and sent to me. It took like a month to get to me. And I chose E minor because most of my stuff is dark and trance-like. And so that, I mean, I have little drumsticks, and I could set that right here and play that. And like I said, it's in my backpack. And I was inspired by that because of I was just on YouTube and I heard like a sound. It's one of those moments when you're like, "What is this sound?" And it's a hang drum, also called like a handpan. It's getting more popular now. Like a lot of people are in drum circles, like they're learning about them. But it looks like a UFO, and it's like it sits in your lap, and each knot on it is a note, but you play it with your fingers, and it's just like boom, boom, like when you hit it. Yeah. So that inspired me, and the tongue drum is like the baby that I have before I can purchase the $1,000 plus handpan.
Cool.
So
Cool.
yeah, that's my dream, to have a whole bunch of those.
Are any of those wacky, I don't have a better description, but those oddly manufactured instruments, can you make those yourself?
So the
Can one make them themselves?
The hand pans, I'm not sure. I did talk to a guy, and he was like, it's going to cost just as much and more time to make it yourself than just to buy one. I know like the handcrafted ones are like 4,000 plus, but now they're actually like companies that make them, and they're 1,300 and 1,400. Now the tongue drums, yes. My brother-in-law is actually making one right now out of a propane tank. Right now it just kind of sounds, my description is like I'm in a marsh. Like you hit it and it's like boom, boom, boom. So it's pretty cool.
Very, very cool. As far as regular drums, have you ever messed around on a regular drum kit?
Yes.
You have? Like, do you see yourself doing that in the future, like in a band, or do you want to just focus on the percussion stuff?
I have already done it in
Okay.
a band. Like I said, I started off with like a half-made one, and then eventually I got more confident and I added more. And in my current band, Mercury, my cousin Christian is the drummer. But we're kind of doing like a Knights Around Table, because it goes with the whole Mercury concept of like, if the song requires my drumming because I have more of like a tribal than he does, then I'll be the drummer in that song, and then he'll sing, or so we're kind of like whoever needs to do whatever role. So in this band, I'm also on a full kit sometimes.
How many times has Mercury played out live?
Only once.
Okay.
We're relatively new, and we are going to be playing at the OmniFest coming up. So
Cool.
yeah. Yeah, that's just floating.
I love it, man. I like when you really incorporated the bottom drum, I'll call it, but then with the sticks on the side, the clickety clang. Cool, cool. As far as some bands that you're influenced by, or artists of the past, older ones, can you drop some knowledge on that?
I'll try.
Okay.
I am bad with names. It's just something about me.
But
I do know my favorite is Sigur Rós. They're an Icelandic band. Hard to explain. They don't speak in English, but it's just like the melodies and the atmosphere. And my cousins and them, they're all like genre, like this band is blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, this band is just this band. That's kind of how I like am with stuff.
Okay.
So for me, they're the band I listen to when I'm driving. They're the band I listen to when I'm laying down. They're the band when you're just like with a group of friends, like in the background. Like I always turn them on.
Okay, so that's your go-to.
Yeah.
How about old school influences? The Beatles?
Of course. Yeah.
Elvis?
Yeah. And my dad sounded like Elvis, and he looked like Elvis too.
Right.
And my mom's favorite is Elvis, and she's always like, "Why do you think I got with your dad?"
Oh, he is the king.
Back in the
But
day.
I like how your dad didn't want to, like, yeah, I had to do the Elvis thing. Like, it sounded like he didn't want to, but
Yeah.
he kind of fell into it. And like you said, Johnny Cash and the Temptations too, huh?
Oh, Temptations. That was as a kid, I would just walk around like, ooh, like constantly snapping my fingers. Yeah.
Hell yeah. How about Radiohead? I know we talked about Radiohead.
I was actually introduced to them later than most people, I think. Like I said, I wasn't, like, not only did I not play music, I never really even, like, listened to music until, like, my dad passed. Like, I grew up in church. I heard music at church. I heard his music. But, like, I didn't, like, search.
Explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, now it's, like, all of these bands, like, even Pink Floyd. I'm just like, who's Pink Floyd? And I worked a hotel night shift, and I, like, listened to Pink Floyd, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Radiohead I love. And they're my cousin's favorite. So I'm really getting more, like...
Into them.
Yeah, and I've been told that Mercury has a lot of
Yeah, that's
Radiohead and
when
early, like, The Doors.
Yeah, early
sounds.
Doors and Radiohead, like when you sent that to me, you know, when we first hooked up, I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were the one
Yeah.
that said that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, there's Radiohead in here for sure, and I love them. They're coming to Chicago, couple. It's this coming up summer, but I think they're doing 2 shows at the United Center, and the first one sold out in like 5 seconds.
Wow.
Maybe they'll do one at the Art Theater.
That would be great. Tom York at the Art downtown Hobart.
Tom York, come to a place that holds 200 people instead of 100,000.
Yeah, at the United
Be cool,
Center.
bro.
Yeah, I think they, Radiohead's definitely in my top 10 favorite bands of all time. And OK Computer it has to be, like, in my opinion, the top 5 best rock albums of all time. Like, it's solid, you know. And In Rainbows is another good one I love. And Moonshaped Pool that just came out a couple years ago is quality. I mean, all their stuff's pretty much quality, but yeah, it's hard to deny Radiohead and Tom York.
It is.
They're solid. They're really, really solid.
This one is called The Color of Gold is a Lie. It's based around the concept that I'm always searching for gold, but it's never really there. Because everything's gold, right? All right. This is depressing. Most of my stuff's depressing. Bear with me. As I kneel in the mud of the river, digging for still, I see shadows on the shore, but cannot tell the real. They sway with the trees behind, I no longer feel. Oh, I no longer feel. And as this darkness settles in, I'm left alone in the night, alone in this cold, cold dark, yet I am without light. For an eye crusted by dirt and grime has forgotten the light, and now I no longer see. As this cold seeped too deep, it turned my heart to stone. Oh, I no longer feel. Oh, no longer feel. Petrified by the absence of life, I forgot how to live. And now I lay down to die. down to die. Out of the shadow, a gray heron rose, and from her wings drifted feathers of snow. And as she sang into that sky, I heard a familiar song. Now you are lying in the filth of your soul. Now you are dying and have nowhere to go. Oh, my dear, you've nowhere to go. As your body melts away, the rivers run red to feed the sanguine seas of the joys you have bled. Oh, you're slipping away. My dear, you're slipping away. Petrified by the absence of life, I forgot how to live. And now I lay down to die. I lay down to die. Oh, lay me down to die. It's a long one, but...
Do you have any upcoming shows? Like, what was the one festival you were talking about again, so people can come check that out?
Yeah, it's actually my cousin.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. Everyone in Valpo kind of knows like his bus. It's like called the hippie bus, the feel good bus. I guess him and his girlfriend are painting it white, and they're gonna have this festival called the OmniFest on April 28th at the Art Barn, and the whole concept is like you donate like a couple bucks and you get like a little square on the bus that you get to paint.
That's awesome.
And then they're going to have like vendors and try to have food there. Probably won't have alcohol because they have to like get security guards and stuff like that.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No candy margaritas, right?
Right. No Jolly Rancher watermelon
Yeah.
margaritas.
But he did say that it's like an 8-hour thing and he wants music like the whole time. So my band Mercury is set for like 2 hours, and then I'll probably play solo like 45 minutes to an hour, and I have some friends that will play. Yeah, so it'll be, it's like a family thing that he's trying to get promoted. So hopefully,
And the Art Barn's in Valpo, correct?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. And what's the date on that?
April 28th.
April
is what I
28th.
was told. So this song, I don't often go into details about it.
It's heartbreak.
No, it's more like I was heartbroken, and then I heard a voice. And that's pretty much what this song's about. in a sea of despair when I heard a song on the breeze. It breathed a peace so rare, it stole away my breath and beat upon my heart in its effervescent spark. My fears all fell apart. Oh, oh. Now I've walked these shores for a time I'll never know, and now I am standing outside my own shadow, and I see a liar afraid to respire the ashes of his soul that burn as dim as coal. And now I'm alive in the love of her song. It's where I belong. Now I'm awake when before I was asleep, for I did forsake the dreams I held too deep. Where did I wander but away from me? Oh, why did I wander when I had somewhere to be? Oh, is this how you breathe? By filling lungs with love? Is this how you see the sun that burns above? Now I'm alive in the love of her song. It's where I belong. Now I was drowning in a sea of despair when I heard a song on the breeze. It breathed a peace so fair, it stole away my breath and beat upon my heart in its effervescent spark. My fears all fell apart, and now I'm alive in the love of her song. Oh, it's where I belong.
I have two questions. First question: who all is in Mercury?
Okay. So it originally started with me, Anthony Ramirez, my cousin. Oh hi.
Oh, hey.
Oh hi,
What up?
doggy.
What up, bro?
My cousin Christian Alexander, Mark Pickering, family friend, went to church with us when we were kids, grew up with us. Brandon Wilson, another friend, and then it grew to I was originally the bassist in it, and now I'm lead singer. We're kind of doing like a Nights Round Table, like I mentioned, but right now I'm singing all the songs. And then Ken Withrow is our bassist now. He's an older guy. We like to call him the old man. He's like in his 50s. We're all in our 20s, so it's one of those things.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You said you're the only one singing?
Currently, with any of our completed songs.
I'd like to formally call out the rest of your band and tell them to quit
Quit
take
jerking
up some of
around.
that slack so you have to blow out your
Yeah,
pipes.
man.
Come on, guys.
Singer-songwriter over here. Annie has the front of band. You're going to be like performing for like 4 hours, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, when that came up, I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this now. So,
Awesome. Well, Anthony, thanks for coming on the show, dude.
of course.
And one more time, they can find you on Instagram under...
Antoine Zeramar.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And Facebook, one more Facebook plug.
Antoine Zeramar. And then Mercury is just Mercury.
Mercury, cool.
band page.
Cool. And then those that are listening, you can find Musically Meditated on Instagram under Musically Meditated Podcast. We are on Facebook, and we're on all apps, right? Right, Sreten?
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody, thanks for listening. And Anthony, thanks again for coming on, dude.
Thank you.
Good times.
I'll hold it up. This is a djembe. It's an African hand percussion drum. I don't plan on singing. It's all improv. So I'll start off, see how I'm feeling, let my emotions go. It's kind of for me, we talked about meditation earlier.
This is your meditation?
Yes, sir. searching for my soul. Where do I go? Where can I go? Waiting on this broken shore, searching for my soul. I think practice, and then for me, stop caring what people think.
Okay.
Like, if you have to go, then you have to go. You can't be like, I don't look cool going like this. Like, for me, that was like I would always be like, yeah, and then there was just that moment that I was like, you know,
Yeah.
orangutan that shit.
Right.